I'm waiting for the single one.
I'm not blind and that's what just happened and that's yeah.
You got it already, Justin?
It's not going to be like it's different.
My mom is she accepted now. She said that.
You know, this
So I'm
weekend,
hoping
I'll take leave to do it.
I hope genetically that passes on to me now.
Just like get it on it. Now, all my teaching goes to like my 6-year-old and my kid-old on the way. I have no money.
What do you know?
Oh,
We're trying to double up.
I know.
All right, guys, we're getting rocking and rolling here. Happy Friday again. Okay, got a short weekend. Got a lot of stuff to keep you guys updated on. I've got some news hot requests from the week commander that has to do with leave, so that'll be interesting. I'll go over kind of at the very end. But first, in double deuce fashion, the time has come to say goodbye to 3 of our friends, 3 of our very close compatriots. 2 pilots and a sergeant that have been part of the double deuce since I've been here. I've known them obviously before that, at least one of them. And it's part of that bittersweet piece of command and bittersweet piece of being part of the military that we get to be a part of, right? To see folks off and thank them for what they contribute to this awesome family. So first, let's get Sergeant Hansen up. Ken.
Oh.
Hey.
All 3 of these kind of farewells, I'm going to embarrass every one of them, but all 3 of these are not like goodbye. These are see you laters, okay? So none of which are retiring, none of which are separated. They're all still staying with us in the big Air Force. Ken is going to be over the 9th Air Refueling Squadron, right? So I know. They basically looked at the ranks and they're like, you know, who's one of our top players, and they coached, right? So they took Ken. And that's part of, you know, doing really well. Is like you do really well, you get things that happen, but you also get highlighted. People want to recruit you. And that's kind of what happens in military. People recruit. It happens. And Ken has been with us for 5 years, and I couldn't say no because he's been here as his first term airman, right? And on the double deuce. So he started on a super high note. From here, it's all going to be downhill. But when I showed up 3 years ago, right, I was brand new to the DO spot. And you have to go through requal. Having Ken back there with then Sergeant He Lee, not She Lee, we had Josh back there. I knew they had my back, right? So when I came to the crazy ass idea, and I had come with a couple of, you know, that I thought would be good for us, y'all were there to have my back and be like, that'd be cool and all, boss, but it's illegal. And I'd be like, yes, it is. Thank you. Like, you guys are awesome. We'll not do that. So I always appreciate him being back there and providing just that level of attention to detail that I perhaps did not have at that time. They always had my back. I always had the team's back. And whenever a mission dropped, whether it was a Saturday, a Sunday, or on New Year's Day with our rain crisis, I mean, Ken rolled in, right? It might have been, sweatpants and Crocs, but he was there, right? At 6 a.m. or 9 p.m., ready to rock, right? Had a lot of changes back in ops, and Ken's been part of it the whole way. And not only as a member of just executing as a followership piece, but as a leader in providing the input that I needed. And we sat down and shut down ops and had lunches. And I bought some pizza and we just chatted all of us together in ops and said, how can we help you all forecast a little more? How can we help you all have better quality of life, quality of service, to forecast your family events and things like that, and make it more efficient for us all the way too. So Ken provided that awesome input that made us better, right? It flowed right into what Major Fernandez took us to even higher heights. So when we met, what was it, a few days ago? 2 days ago we met, sat down. I love the interview because we just peel back the onion a little bit. I get some feedback. I can thank Ken personally for what he's done, and I can I get our big 3, right? So most proud of is being part of the 22nd mission, making humanitarian and last minute missions like the Iranian response happen, because it can't happen without SARMs. One team, one fight here in the double deuce. I can attest to that. Favorite memory was Fall Fest. It actually surprised me. I have 5 years of like events. He was like, no, that Fall Fest Halloween event that we did last year was awesome. And he loved to kind of do the decorating and kind of surprise the kids, handing out candy, watching even, a lot of us walk through the Delta Deuce and see it transform with the, goodness, we had like the werewolf and DCS, all kinds of crazy stuff you guys all put together. But that was just kind of one of his favorite memories because it was us showing, as a family that despite COVID, we're smart and we still do things together and guard our culture as a family. Advice, right? And this again goes into kind of who Ken is work hard. It pays off, both in the near term and the long term. Enjoy your time in the Double Deuce because there is an end to everything. And that's so very true. So with that, Ken, thank you. Being part of our team, being a friend, being a mentor to those in SARM now, growing up from a first term airman, now being an NCO, to show what it looks like and what you need to be part of our team as a top-notch SARMie in the Double Deuce. With that, we have the famous Double Deuce litho for you, Staff Sergeant Ken Hansen, Aviation Resource Management Craftsman, 22nd Air Squadron, 12 August 2016 to 1 April 2021, Travis Air Force Base, California. I know you're gonna hang this in your cubicle, and whenever the night leadership walks by, we're like, this is where it's at, boss. Okay? You can get away with that the first week, and then after that, you're gonna have to assimilate. It's awesome. Do the batch. All right.
And close to 5 years, it's been a hell of a trip, I'll say that. Been a lot of changes since little A1C me came in, I'm scared, first unit, and now it's gotten so much better than how it used to be. And the 5 years has gone like that. So thank you everyone, I miss you all. And I'll be back to visit, and I'll have Slack for a while, so.
Slack.
That's right. So, hit me up if you want to talk, meet up, I'll be around. Let's go down the street.
All right. He's on any easier. So, Richard's been here. We showed up to Travis within months of each other. Came from Creech, right? Where he was down there flying RPAs and had a lot of success there. When he came up to ops, we had a very young ADO Corps, right? But we've both been out of the jet for a while, kind of get recutting our teeth, if you will, on C5 operations. And Richard was always one that if I was having a long day or a tough day, or someone in the team was having a tough day, he was there to ask him to sit down. He's like, how you doing? Even though he had family, he had other life events going on, he was there to just be there for you and say, hey, how you doing? How are things doing? Can I get you a pile of water? We call it, some sparkling water or something. Can I get you a coffee? Like he was always there. He cared, and he was always present. And I appreciated that from a team perspective and also a personal perspective, because he was always there for me when I needed him. Richard is one of those success stories where folks that have come back to the C5 that have been out of Fred for a while, went to fly RPAs or did those type of non-flying, at least in the air, type event, and absolutely crushed it, right? And we can think of some others like Roger Raves of the world is now Uncle Roger teaching over in I got to have an awesome sim with him this week. But one of those success stories, because it's not easy to come back when you're older, as an FGO, and you look around, there's captains that are already evaluators around you, and you feel that pressure. You're like, okay, I got to step it up, and I got to get back in the jet. But also at the same time, I'm a leader as an ADO. It's not easy. But I was impressed with how Richard was able to balance those stressors. And Oya, by the way, his family stayed in Las Vegas, right? And I'll get to that in a second. But his ability to balance both the work life on flying and both the leadership demands he had in Garrison, and ascend up to instructor pilot, which hadn't been held before, and it's not easy to double do. So you look around, we've got 40 co-pilots, right? And we've also got a metric ton of students, right? And we all know, so instructor pilots in the room, and it's not about just those students you're teaching. It's how's the whole dynamic in the jet working on that boat and on that mission, right? Because if there's a student at the panel and you're flying some AR, and maybe that, the AR checklist isn't going by and that refueling panel isn't set up right away, now you're hanging on a half mile, you know what I mean? You're waiting. And that's okay. You have to anticipate that. So it's not just those you're teaching, it's that whole dynamic of students in the jet. And Richard just did that so very well, and I was just so very impressed and proud of him. It's been a desire of mine to get him back with his family, right? So the family needed to stay just with the support down there in Las Vegas. So how do I get him back? Flying the C5 with his family, right? And really the answer to that support was San Antonio. We all know there's not many positions in San Antonio like Kelly for pilots. Det 6, you have heard of it, is the SimCert section, the active duty section in Kelly. There's not many officers and enlisted are down there. It's headed up by Lieutenant Colonel Flavor, I think still. But those positions rarely cycle because when people get down there, it's a pretty good deal. It's good flying because you're still flying associate with the reserves on the 8C5 fields there. They don't open up very much. But I knew I needed to keep Richard in with the team. I say the team, the C5 community. So we were able to open up on the staff positions down there that have been unfilled for some years now to get him to an associate assignment. He's still going to be doing the SimCert down there at Kelly, but now his family can reunite with him down there. He's still flying the C5 as an instructor, making us better, taking what we've done here in the Double Deuce and inserting himself down into Kelly. We know some people that are at Kelly now, right? That have come from the 22nd, like Rob Rogers, to kind of inculcate what we've done here, that culture we've started, some of the changes we've made in ops, some of the demands we want as far as training. We have, an inside agent, if you will, a stakeholder in the game. And we all know, I know, that Richard is working with the goal from an officer standpoint, from a family man standpoint, and from a leadership standpoint. So I'm so very, very proud of having that come true and getting him back to his family back there in San Antonio. When we sat down, we were able to go through kind of what he's most proud of. And really that was, again, speaks to kind of the character of Richard. And that's maintaining his strong family core throughout his Air Force career. Here at Travis, not easily done. It's over 1,000 miles away. And you're flying missions around the world, but also previously in his Air Force career. And, this potentially be the last assignment, right? That's something to be very, very proud of. And I have no doubt when that retirement day comes up here in the future, you're going to reflect on that and be very, very proud, right? Favorite memory? He said this was an easy answer, or the easy answer is flying missions. I think we all can attest to that. When we get up and take that bird around the world and you work Munich with your buddies, that's good time, right? Like those are some good memories, right? But really, if you think about it, it's the people you're with, right? Like, yeah, Munich's cool, but it's being able to kind of take our culture in a small team. Doesn't matter really who it is, because we're all pretty much, bought into what it means to be in the Double Deuce. And we go have a blast, right? We work hard on the road, in the jet, in Garrison. We go on the road and we're somewhere in crew rest. We can have fun together, right? And it's just those quality memories you're going to make, those pictures you're going to put on Facebook or in your pocket, or print it off on your wall that you're going to reflect back on when you're 60 years old and be like, that was an awesome time. That's a memory that you're going to cherish. And I know you're going to continue to cherish, even while down there at Kelly. Advice: be kind to everyone. And I can attest that he doesn't only just talk the talk, he walks the walk on this. So be kind to everyone, live with integrity, everything else will fall into place. I'm a 100% believer in that, right? So we have a culture of appreciation for Double Deuce, right? Rarely, I think, we ever walk into the front office or another shop and give a report, whether it's good or bad, someone's gonna say thank you. Like, we're like, thank you for raising that information up to you, thank you for what you do, thank you for flying the mission, thank you for what you do in Garrison. That's just part of being kind, is to have that showing that appreciation. And I can't tell you enough how many times I've seen Richard live that out, not just say it, as far as his advice to actually live it in his life. So as sad as I am to see you go, brother, elated that you're getting back to your family. You're staying in the C5 community. You're going to bring what we've done here in the W's down to Kelly and kind of rally them around some of our principles that we kind of started here. And I'm joyous, right? These are kind of like, it's liquid testosterone, but it's kind of some joyous tears that I'm happy to say goodbye. All right. Major Richard Hunt, C5M pilot. January, we're gonna have to change that date because that's not right. That's when you were here previously. So we're gonna get the date changed. But we're both on there. Oh, no joke. Okay, January 2020 to March 2013, and I missed it. I'm sorry, guys. And August 2018 to May 2020. This is a special one. That's cool. 22nd Air Squad and Travis Air Force Base. Good stuff. Over to you.
Yeah, no, I'll go quick. We've never really been long winded anyway, so thank you. It's been great being here. What we do is amazing. I think we all know that. And but it was a long time ago, despite what we do is amazing. Nobody will remember how many hours you flew or how much cardio you lifted. You will, but nobody else will. So when it comes down to the end of the day, people will remember what kind of person you were. So I've always tried to be the best person you can, be better today than I was yesterday, better than I was today. As Michael said, it kind of has always been something I always tried to model. Maybe not perfect at it, but I always try to be the best person you can. All of my life, after people that I've admired and hoped that I remember people in the same way. If you do that, you're the best person you can. Everything else, the flying, the hours, the office jobs, they'll all be there. They'll all fall into place. So, yeah, appreciate all of you. Appreciate everything everybody's done. It's been a great time. Thank you.
All right. Last but most certainly not least, overall, it's good. I've known Joel since he was Lieutenant Loftus. Okay. He showed up. It was at 2012, right? He showed up at Dover, sit back there at the Chief Pilot office, which is the flight commander's office. You know, got to see Joel roll into the squadron. You know, just kind of a bright, bushy-tailed young lieutenant. Right? We were all there, every single one of us. Right, we're there. We're the ignorant, naive young lieutenant. But from when I got to know Joel, then when it was either flying in a local pattern or going on a mission or two, he was always someone that cared. And he was always someone that valued credibility amongst his peers, credibility amongst really everyone, as far as operating both the jet, but also in garrison. When I came in here, I kind of started that heavy hitter award. He was really kind of what I embodied in my mind, what I saw in my mind as who is the model heavy hitter. And there's others in this squadron, but he was really the one that I was like, if I'm going to think of a heavy hitter, at least on the pilot side, there's obviously ones in the engineering and a lot on the load side, the SARM side. He is it. You can't find someone who's going to work harder in garrison, who's going to care more, who's going to fly with a passion and a level of credibility on the road that, in my mind, is unmatched. He's going back to Dover Air Force Base, right, guys? And this is what I'll argue one of the hardest decisions I ever made was letting go of Joel and giving him back to the Pelicans. And he also has the very distinct privileged opportunity to be coast to coast to coast. It doesn't just happen, okay? And there's very, very few people that can do it and be successful, okay? And if you look at his record, he's been very, very successful, and that is not easy to do when you stay in one community the entire time. But it speaks to who Joel Loftus is. Commanders will say the door is always open, right? That's not 100% true. Like, it's gonna be closed because I'm not sure, things like that. Like, there's gonna be times when it's closed, right? There's gonna be times that I'm crazy busy getting ready for this or something else. And there's few people that have earned the right to kind of come in whenever they want. And Joel Loftus is one of those two. When he's going to come in, he knows he has the deference to know when to come in. When he does come in, he's got something for me. And it's something not for me just to know, but for something for the team, whether it's a cultural piece, a team building piece, a training piece that needs to occur, right? Or at least be talked about, right? Because maybe we don't have 100% of the information. But he earned that right to always be there and be a voice for the team, okay? Not just pilots, right? Because more often than not, it was for the others, right? We're talking culture and training and resources for load masters and engineers. He earned that right because of who he is. He's earned that right because of what he's done for our community. He's earned that right because of what he's continued to do until the last day he serves, because that's who Joel Loftus is. He's been with us for 4.5 years, right? 4.5 years. If you look back at the jobs he's had, I think he's had chief every single job he's had. And of the jobs he had at Dover, there's the only 2 positions that I'm counting. Actually, okay, 3. The one you can't have. So you haven't been the chief of the squadron yet, right? The superintendent. That's not going to happen. And you haven't been the DO or the commander. But Joel is one where if he wants to, he can. Okay. Everything we've done in the past 4.5 years, and I would argue back in Dover, the 3.5, 4 years he was there, has had Joel Loftus's hand on it. All the improvements we've made, he's been guiding and instructing and teaching and evaluating our team to make that all possible. Because all these things we've done, all the ideas to come to fruition and actually be successful, like the MSTT, right, amongst others, couldn't have been done without all of you, but also Joel Loftus, because of the leadership he's done, leadership he's contributed to, the care that he's accomplished back in training, wing training, now as an ADO, everything else he's done, he's had his hand on it. And I'll tell you right now that I slept better, both as a DO and as a commander, knowing that I had Joel back there in the squadron, or at the wing training, or in TACS when he first showed up here, or as an ADO teaching our team. Because it's not about when he's just in the seat, it's about everybody else, it's about the team. Okay, goodness, we sat down for like an hour and a half, and we could have gone another hour and a half just talking. Joel was proud of many things, but you want to highlight a couple. Train shop, because I'll argue the train shop has gone through the most churn, has had the most pressure put upon them, right, from like the 4-star level, the MSDT to produce, and they've done it, and they've done it safely, and they've done it with maintaining the same level or improving the level of quality that we know we're going to have when we put those wings on folks' chests and say they're qualified. He's also super proud of the instructors, because instructor is one of those jobs, it's one of the most fulfilling jobs, but it's also the most demanding and costly jobs if you do it right. And Joel, as we brought all of our young FPs and MPs or folks that cross-flow to be instructors, even on the loadmaster and engineer side, he ensured that we had the right person carry that K code, because that is the core of what it is in ops and the double use. It's our instructor course, period. If you want to aspire to be something, it's that, right? You want that K code. He's most proud of everything they've done and the care that they've provided. Favorite memories, too many to count, guaranteed. Part of that's because we're getting old, and like all those like missions blend together. Like it's embarrassing sometimes, and I know you've done it too. When you get in the cruise, and you're like, yeah, like remember when we were flying? I think you were there. I think you were there, and they're like, I don't know, boss. I don't know if I was with you. Or not. Like I don't know. We flew one time, and we had a cool crew, and all the memories just kind of blend together. You know what I mean? Until you get those pictures out. Another reason why I take pictures, okay? Because otherwise it blends together. So you look at that picture, and you're like, gosh, man, that was awesome. So it's too many to count, but I think all that wrapped into one creates just a core of joy in your heart and that quality of service we talk about that won't soon fade. And I truly believe that. His advice, and I'll close with this. So always care, whether it's a major life crisis or just daily life, someone in your team's going through something. Make sure you're there for them. Show them the care and actually live the care, right? It's one thing to blast a text, but when they ask you to help out, you gotta be there. You gotta be there. And you'll be surprised on what your team can accomplish when they know each and every one of you there are behind that leader, or behind that NCO, or behind your fellow airmen, okay? And with that, where are you? Let's do this first. Probably start. Congrats. All right, actually, let's do this. was mixing it up.
I care a lot about the squadron. And people always say that when you join the Air Force, your first squadron is the one you will always cherish the memories in the most. When I go back to my first squadron, which is cool, and I'm excited for that. I'm from Baltimore, so going back to Dover will be sweet. I think many of you know I come from a huge family, so the opportunity to be around my siblings and to have an impact on them is important to me. My wife's family from back there, so we're excited to go back to the East Coast and be a part of the Pelicans and continue flying the C5 and all those things. But I don't think that I can honestly say that that would be my favorite squadron, because the people in this squadron and this team is unmatched. In the way in which that they take care of each other, that they look out for each other, and we're not perfect, right? We make a lot of mistakes in this squadron, right? We talk about our culture a lot, and it's good, and I'm sure that there's some of you out there who don't feel like it's good. And so we have room to grow, and we have room to get better. But the people and friendships that I've made in the squadron will last forever. And the people who I've had the opportunity to work with and to just share life with, right? Not just work, but challenges and things that I've gone through in my life and things like that. So there's so many people in the squadron that means so much to me. So like Colonel Trumbull said, my one piece of advice is to care, right? Care about this community, care about the C5, care about being safe, but most importantly, care about each other, right? This team is successful and does what it does because when you step on that airplane, regardless of who it is, regardless of who you're flying with, we care about each other. And that's what gets Fred airborne every day, more than anything else. I would be remiss to not thank Colonel Trimble. I told him many times, I was like, I'm riding my career out here in California, and you'll have me. And he kind of built a house of cards knowing that I was going to be here. And I walked into his office one day and kind of pulled the rug out and said, it would be best for me and my family to go back to Dover. And I was telling my wife last night, I said, she asked, well, how was your conversation with Colonel Trumbull? And I said, well, I realized that it was the wrong decision for him to let me leave on a professional level. And he told me he didn't care about that, but that he cared about you and me and Hannah, more than he cared about the right professional move. And he wanted to make sure that we were taken care of. And so that's special, right? And I told him, I was like, we don't always agree on things. But the fact that someone was willing to care that much about us and let us basically, dictate that assignment was something that was really special, and I'll forever be indebted to him for allowing that to happen. There's so many other people that are special, Adam, Tyler, you guys, we've been through so many things together, and so it's been wonderful. Fez, thank you for your leadership and your mentorship. SB, working back in training with you, brother, was phenomenal, and the work that you did to mold the team in training. And then, Tyler Waters, who I know is not here today, and K. Ravian. I leave work, I try and leave at 4:30 every day, and I leave and those guys are still there cranking out. I felt kind of like a schmuck because these guys were out there just crushing it. And these are the people who I look up to and look at their work ethic and the way that they care about this team, and they inspire me to do what I do every day. So I will see you all in the lobby of KMCC, or maybe across the ramp at Bagram, or hopefully soon at Arcos and Rhoda. But I look forward to seeing you guys all again soon, and thank you for the last 4.5 years.
Good morning, Loftus. We'll jump right in from the exec team. We've got upcoming squadron events. We've got the spring fling on Saturday, April 24th. And we have a going away lunch this afternoon at noon in the Heritage Room. Just stop by for some tacos. And then we have a Heritage Huddle at 1422. Upcoming holidays, family days, we've got Memorial Day on May 22nd. As far as Hacking the Mish goes, we've got Calico's crew. They're still in Sea Springs right now. Colonel Kramer's crew that came back here before they head out again. So they're currently here at Travis. And then Major Pagenkopf's crew is headed over to Warner Robins. So a little more details on the spring fling. So again, it's going to be April 24th, so mark your calendar. It's going to be at the Travisville Park. It's going to be fun, food, and games. And then the POC is going to be Lieutenant French Hat. So if anybody has any questions on that.
Real quick. Okay, so guys, this is kind of our, we did the bowling alley day on Monday. This is kind of our first big family event that I'm going to get PO approval. So the public health officer approvals, Colonel Murray, has to get approved because it's an event that we could have a COVID outbreak, right? I've talked to Colonel Simmons, I've talked to Colonel Johnson, and kind of given this plan that we have going forward. It'll be outdoors, obviously. Later in April is probably the nicest weather. You're already seeing it right now, the nicest weather in California. So I know it's on a Saturday, and many of the events that I plan, you've seen occur during a weekday, right? Because I don't want to take away, family time from you. But I'm asking, I want to make this a success. Not for me, not for like the W's name, but for us, okay? I want to get our families reconnected. Over the past year, we recycled like 28% of the squad, and that includes the families, and they don't know who the other families are. Like, yeah, we can get a lot done in GroupMe, yeah, we can get a lot done in Slack, and then Facebook, and the spouse's page with Travis, but really it's a personal connection, okay? So I want you to mark the calendars. I want you to make an effort to show up, even if it's for like 30 minutes, okay? Get a free burger, get a free dog, all that stuff. Do the climbing wall with your kids or you if you want to. We're gonna have some other events that are gonna be there, it's bounce house and stuff. But really it's a connection we've been trying to enforce, all right? We're not enforce, but just encourage. So please mark your calendars. It should be outside of the normal spring break time frame. If you have kids that are on spring break, that's the first week of April. So I try to make it strategic in that time frame so everyone can show up on that Saturday just for a little bit and spend some quality time together, okay? Sound good, guys? All right, thanks.
All right, up next, we'll be hearing from Lieutenant Richard.
Morning. Resilience Day. So as you guys know, the Air Force is coming out with these resiliency days so that we can kind of rehack, get back our unit cohesion as needed. So ours will be the 31st of March, Wednesday. Right now, our location is going to be Pina Adobe. So getting out there at 8 a.m., all of us getting together. Expect us to have 10 groups with leaders. We'll be separating them as needed. So what I need from you guys is we'll be putting out a announcement on Slack, basically. If you can respond to that, if you're not going to be able to be here on Wednesday, whether you're pre-mission, post-mission, ROM, whatnot, so that by Monday we can get those solidified groups, and then we'll post those so you guys know who you're supposed to be with. Tentatively speaking, there is the $5 fee for getting to Pina Adobe. We're getting with Public Works to try to see if we can get that waived. That is the goal, but if not, I expect to try to carpool out there to reduce the amount so you can get it all the way down to, $1.50 per person for that. Any questions?
Okay, so we could have done this here in the squadron. I don't want to do that, okay? So I want to get us out in nature again next time of year for us to have maybe some of these tougher discussions, okay? It's best to break away from your workplace sometimes to talk about these things, and that's what I want to do, right? So yes, it's a little bit early. It is, but it's also being hot that day. So I'm trying to get some of this done earlier in the morning. The 6th ARS will also be there at Adobe. If you have a question of like, this is like optional or not, it's not optional. Okay? So like, unless you're like on leave or mission, right guys, like, you're gonna be there, okay? I need you to be there. And if you don't get knocked out then, your roster, right, you're gonna have to do it later. And it'll be here, it'll be a PowerPoint, it'll suck, and it won't be as good as this is gonna be with these small team discussions. Following those discussions, because you guys are gonna break up and go to the top of the hill if you want, or go hike around the lake, or even go to some of the Frisbee locations that are there, the dog park, or if you wanna go and sit and kind of have your time together, that's fine. At the end, we break out, much like Lieutenant Richie already alluded to, you guys are cut to your flights for lunch. And I want you to get together with your flights for lunch, okay? Like, you're already out, go somewhere cool. You know, there's a lot of restaurants that open, shops that open. Go get some food, okay, with your team. We're gonna be going downtown Vacaville with the front office, talk about whatever. It doesn't have to be resilience, it can be about March Madness, how your brackets here. I know Mike's project. So have that time, spend that time, and then we're gonna come back that day, 2 p.m. He's got Krnevicek's CMX starter promotion, okay? So it's a packed day, but it's a fulfilling day. Yes, it's a Wednesday, not a Monday and Friday, but it's for the right reasons we're gonna be here, okay, for that stuff. And you're gonna get free food for Krnevicek at the end, so like, it's a win, it's a win. Yeah, Chick-fil-A, right? That's fine. I'm sitting already with that. So that's that, guys. I just want to add on. Is there anything else that I missed?
I was just gonna say, so the reason that it is mandatory is because it is the suicide prevention training. So this year the Air Force is separated SAPR and suicide. So this will be the suicide part of that. So just so you guys get a reason on this.
Yes, cities. Thank you. Thank you. Show the cities, guys. Pack a flight suit. We're going to see you in your cars and go home and come back. It's 8 o'clock, right? Because I don't want everybody here in cities during a promotion ceremony, right? That'd be weird. So bring your stuff. Carpool, right? Yeah, it's $5 for a car. You get 4 people in a car. It's $1, $25, right? There's math. It's cheap. So that's that. Anything else? Questions? All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So, ADLS is gone. Trying to log on right now. It's going to automatically redirect you to my learning site. Yeah, that's supposed to happen until today. It already happened today. So that's the website there to log on to. I'll send it out in an email, Slack and everything. Or like I say, if you go to ADLS right now, it'll automatically redirect you. Okay. When you first go on there, go here to get started. Click there to enroll. It's going to walk you through a tutorial. It's going to tell you how to do things, how to look things, how everything goes. It's really simple, really easy. It's going to have, next thing you'll do after you've done that, whenever you log on, it's going to have the screen up here. Go to my dashboard, and my dashboard is going to tell you all different courses, things where other places to go. The next one is view all courses. View all courses is going to actually have a space where you can type in the course you want to go to, or if you click the button that says My Learning, it'll open up to all the different sites. So right now, Go Learn is the old ADLS. So if you hit Go Learn, all the stuff is on ADLS will be there for. The AMC one is there, AETC there, everything's there for you to just click on and go to your classes. Unfortunately, a little snafu just happened. So they gave rights to all the UTMs in the bases, and the rights they gave them were God rights. So somebody went in and accidentally hit all the courses, and then somebody else went in and changed the course configuration, and so affected every single course online. So they are trying to fix it right now. So like when I log in right now and I go to my dashboard, it tells me that I have not done cyber awareness since 2009. So.
Can we give God rights, but you're right credit?
Yeah, I can't take all the rights away from us. So I can't even do anything but do my own stuff now.
God's a fallen.
Yeah. So, it is a work thing. I don't know somewhere, but it is gonna work. When it does, it's actually really simple, faster, goes right to it. So, but you still can do at least go and get this started so you can see how it works. So I recommend logging on sooner. I'm not going to walk everybody, hold your hand and show you how to do it because there is a tutorial. It's very, very long. 5 minutes. Really depends on how long, but it actually goes through videos and it shows you, hey, go here, do this. And it lets you rewind it, it lets you go back, lets you do everything else like that. So you can watch that anytime you want to see it. But if you do have questions after this tutorial, and once it actually works, come and ask me, I can help you out with it. Second thing is too, is we did find out, when I downloaded all the transcripts in December, when we thought it was going away in December, and then we downloaded it again in March. Well, when we downloaded it in March, everybody's 2020 SAPR and suicide awareness fell off. So if for some reason you need that, we do have your transcripts from December to, I know for medical readiness, you need, for readiness, you need for the, your training records. So I have both. We have it from December and from January or March, December and March. So if you find that something has fallen off after they fix the stuff, let me know. I have proof that you did it, and I can go and give you credit if I get that rights back. Any questions?
All right.
Superintendent.
Hey, good morning. I only have a few things today. First thing is April is going to be busy. It's going to start with an RF of about 5, and then it's going to go to about 6 throughout the rest of the month. So make sure you have your currencies done for at least the next month or so, so you're able to fly. That's a big thing with that. Another thing, Ops Next is changing just a little bit. So the only major change we're doing is the events tab that we use now with all the cruise boat in there is going to change. We're expecting about 2 weeks for this to transition. So it's going to be the aircraft commander's name only on the events tab. And the reason for this is all going to Pupboard, which is also for OPSEC, right? So Mattermost is the account that you have to have. It's not required, but you have to create a Mattermost account to use Pupboard. Pupboard allows us to put in all the mission details, reach call signs, mission numbers, aircraft commander, the full crew, where you're going, the full itinerary, everything. So you can access this through any computer that you can use Mattermost, your apps on your phone and everything else. But the main reason for that is for OPSEC. So this tab will be changed, everything else will remain the same. And then it's just gonna be an SA builder. So if you don't want to use it, just plan on being scheduled the same way you are now. Scheduler's gonna call you and say, hey, you're scheduled for this. Some other benefits of that, if you're a pilot and you like flying locals, because nobody else does, you can put in, you request to fly this local, whether it's for currency or just for extra time, right? Beyond the state. Also, like a Hawaii mission comes up and you can fly that, you've never been to Hawaii, you can request that mission. So I'm gonna build all the parameters in there. I'm gonna start with the basic crew. So like 3 pilots, 2 flight engineers, and 3 loads for each one. Anything past that, you're gonna have to talk to the scheduling directly. Once you put in a request for it, doesn't mean you're gonna get it though. It's just gonna be a request to fill missions, and it's gonna help scheduling out. Is there any questions? All right, thanks. Have a good weekend.
All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so airmen families, right? You heard a couple of the guys that are going away. What's one thing they talked about was caring for your people, right? Care for airmen families. So without further ado, can you please join me in welcoming our Airmen and Family Readiness Center Rep, Ms. Tanika McCoy.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm Tanika McCoy from the Airmen and Family Readiness Center. My official title is Community Readiness Consultant. Pretty much what that means is I'm the liaison for you, your family members, and any issues you might have when it comes to the Airmen and Family Readiness Center. So this past year, COVID has drastically changed the way that we deliver our services over at the Airmen and Family Readiness Center. Previously, before COVID happened, of course, we had a traditional way of conducting appointments. And that was just one-on-one in our office, our classroom office, or offered in our offices. But now we're able to see that we can be more flexible and cater to the service members. So we offer our classes or our appointments on Zoom, WebEx, Google platform, any social media platform that you're comfortable with. We can meet you there because we want to accommodate you to make sure that you're taken care of. So with that being said, at this center, we have about 12 programs that we offer. I'm not going to touch on all of them. These are the 5 core programs that I think will be beneficial to you all and like how we can support you. So one of the first programs is Air Force Aid Society. That is my program. I'm the program manager for it, and I love this program. It's like my baby. So what Air Force Aid Society is, it's a charitable organization that helps airmen when they might face some type of financial hardships and they need some type of support. In the event that you're behind your mortgage, your rent, your utilities, any life expenses, we can potentially help you take care of that problem. And Air Force wants to make sure that that problem is taken care of, because when that problem is taken care of, you're able to focus on your mission. So if you have any type of financial hardship or anything, you can come and see me. In addition, Air Force Aid Society also has for active duty service members, in the event someone in your immediate family, mom, dad, brother, sister, were to pass away, we fly back to your home state at no cost to you. It's a grant, because we want to make sure that burden is taken off so you can travel back home. If you do want to bring your whole family, they can come with you to take care of the emergency. However, it's going to be an interest-free loan. And the payments is be included $25 per month is whatever you're comfortable with in your budget. In addition, Air Force Aid, we also have bundles for babies. If you're welcoming a new baby, it's your first baby, second baby, third baby, it doesn't matter. I would highly encourage you to come to this briefing. I also hosted with myself, the lactation consultant, child care providers, and also different agencies from the community. This will just give you information on how to take care of a baby, how to kind of like go over the impact, the financial impact that a new baby might bring to you. So we go over all that, and at the end of it, you get a $50 gift card. We also have child care for PCS. So if you have children and you're coming to Travis, you get 23 hours of child care. If you're leaving going out of the base, you get an additional 23 hours of child care. Just come to us and get that voucher, or you can come to me and I can like set you up with that. We also, for Air Force Aid, we have car care because you care. So if you guys are on a mission for 30 days or more and your spouse or significant other is left behind, you can get a car care voucher over $50 to get 40 change on base. So that's just some of the programs the Air Force Aid Society has to offer. Like I said, I am the program manager for that. I'm so passionate about the program. You can come and see me. You get contact with your shirt, and you can get my contact. You can do whatever. I can come to you. We can do it on Zoom. Or want to take care of you guys. Our next program in the center is TAP, Transition Assistance Program. This is our largest program, and the TAP program is pretty much where if you're separated out of the military, it's to help you get ready to take off that uniform, the military uniform, and put in the civilian attire for that transition. So help you with your resume, interview skills, anything else that will help you be a better version of yourself when you walk out of that gate. Because we want to make sure that you're taken care of. In addition, TAP is congressionally mandated, you have to attend it. So I just say when you come to that class, just come with an open mind to be a vet so that you can prepare your resume so you can get the job that you want. Our TAP program is one of the best. I've been to different centers, and I will tell you that here at Travis is top-notch, our TAP team, and they want to take care of you. Our employment program, it doesn't really affect you guys employment-wise directly. When you have a spouse or dependent that's looking for employment, they can come talk to Ms. Panero. She's a program manager for this. She's phenomenal. She probably gets 3 to 5 calls per week with people crying and thanking her, saying they landed their dream job. And she helps them like care their resumes and like prepare for interviews so that they can get the job that they want. In addition to employment, if you have a spouse that has that type of license, certificate, or any type of accreditation from another state, you have PCS2 Travis, the Jet can help you walk through the steps to get your spouse reimbursement for the license. Just say your spouse is a nurse in Delaware, and then she comes to Travis and the new license might cost $900. The Jet can help you get $1,000 to reimburse. It's a simple process. So all you have to do is have your orders for the new base, the receipt that your spouse paid for the state of California license, your old license and the new license, and then we can get it reimbursed through finance. The turnaround time of that is a little tricky. It's out of our hands. It's finance. You guys know how they are. 12 weeks. In my mind, I say longer than 12 weeks because we know how finance is. PFR, personal financial readiness. Our finance team at the center is top notch. You guys might know Jersey. He's light skinned with dreads. William, he's great at what he does. And right now, we're really pushing TSP and letting service members know about TSP. Because ultimately, your TSP is your contribution that you're making to your retirement. It's setting you up for the long run. We're all young and healthy now, but we're not going to be there forever. If you invest in your TSP, the contribution that you put in will help you later on in life. Our EFMP, Exceptional Family Members Program. If you have a spouse or a dependent or children, anyone that might have a special need, our EFMP program is a special program and a great program because it's a resource to help you and the person with disabilities get the service they might need in the community. And last but not least, I can definitely relate to all of you guys in my world. My husband is a flyer at the C-17, so I can culture, but I understand the ins and outs. One day you have an appointment, the next day admission might drop, and you have to go. For me and my spouse, I always say that our 10-year wedding anniversary, we're gonna go to Paris, we're gonna live it up. One day, dude gets a mission to Paris. I'm like, them so bad, like, I ain't gonna go to Paris, like, we got this thing for all the years. So I understand how it can bring like some tension in your marriage, so. If you or your spouse, ever feel like you just have, like, just not connecting because of whatever the mission might be, I highly encourage you to come see our input. They are great at what they do, because Stephen and Peggy, and they can kind of help with like any type of like, issue you might have. They're our therapists, by the way. Everything we talk about with them is strictly confidential. They don't take notes on you, they're not allowed to, it's just, you don't have to tell them your rank, you don't have to say your name, you just say, I want to talk to you. So we highly encourage you to utilize our services. And that is all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, I'm here. I'll be here till the end. You can talk to me, or you can look me up on Google. I am the only McCoy. It's McCoy with a K, McKoy. My husband and I are the only two on the base. So look me up, and I look forward to serving you all. And I am here. Okay?
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. LaFleur. Yeah, the resources are out there, and like she said, you can come see me, and I will throw her information on my shirt corner Slack channel. Just a couple quick plugs real quick. So the fitness center is getting back to normal business, just like everyone else on base. They're opening up intramural sports again here, trying to shoot for June timeframe, right? Softball, volleyball is the two they're targeting right now. So of course, that comes with us having a squadron sports rep, right? If you want to volunteer for that, come see me. We'll do the appointment letter. I'll get you hooked up with the fitness center. That is kind of a way to show a little bit of leadership, right? Gathering teams together and stuff. So please come see me. And then also 1 April, right? I don't see too many people in there with ABUs on. But 1 April, right? That's next Thursday. That is the cutoff date for ABUs. So, no, I'm the uniform police and everything. Cutoff date for ABUs and sage green boots. No more sage green boots in any uniform, very point blank. Yeah, so, yep, they gotta go. So,
We're ball caps.
You said that. You said that.
And just last plug, Coyote Brown shirts, of course, are mandatory and will always be mandatory, so please lose the desert shirts if we still wear those. Other than that, you guys have a safe weekend, and yeah, see you.
All right, next up, we got the chief.
Good morning.
Good morning. Pretty quick today. Had lunch with Chief Bass yesterday, so I just want to pass off a couple of things she had passed on. So June, they said they'll have the new PT test scoring and everything will be tight and ready to go for July. So count on that. And also, if you read the last week on Friday in the announcements, I put like a whole memo. Who read that, to be honest? Yeah, so I figured. Anyways, so if you did read it, it talks about a blueprint for enlisted development and like, hey, here's what's kind of happening with that. So they're trying to just basically rebuild what it means to be an enlisted person in the Air Force. So 1 July, they're coming out, or in July, they're coming out with a new little brown book. You guys remember what that was, enlisted force structure? And with that will be a blueprint. So basically, just like a visual aid of like what your careers look like as an enlisted person. They're kind of mirror what the officers do, because the officers really do a good job of taking care of their enlisted. So up at the Pentagon, when she was there, it was just her and another senior that was in charge of all enlisted development, like what you're supposed to do as far as PME and everything. And like the officers have like 6 colonels up there, right? They're doing it right. So they're trying. So now they have a cell up there at the Pentagon that is focused just on enlisted force development. So it's good stuff. And then finally, Monday, 0900 enlisted all call. All right. We got a bunch of stuff to pass on, some good PD and some good, just good information that's good for enlisted force. So if you're not on a mission, you're not wrong, you're on leave, and you got an E or your rank, please be here. So Anything for me? Any questions? All right, thanks. All right, team, I got some admin to go real quick and then just kind of some highlights of this past week. First, I guess I alluded to already leave. So leave policy right now, everything flows through me, right? If you're gonna be leaving the state, it's gonna be, I'm probably out of 3 hours of distance, you're gonna be on leave, and it's gonna be routed through me and through your supervisor, right? You're gonna have a memo, there's some COVID research, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, the 3-hour rule, like for the weekend, you be able to go somewhere, you can go to Tahoe and not be on leave on the weekend or something, is now extended to 8 hours driving time. That's not 8 hours in like a Ferrari, it's 8 hours like fuel time, okay? So what does that include? Really, the only change is including LA now, okay? So LA is now inside of that bubble that used to be 300 miles. Now it's 8 hours drive time. So you still can't get to Vegas, right? So I said that out loud. Still can't get to Vegas. You probably still can't go to San Diego unless you're going on a I don't know, Saturday at 300 in the morning. You know what I mean? There's no traffic. Don't try it. I'll just say that out loud to you. So you're gonna get LA in there. You're not gonna have Vegas, not gonna have San Diego unless you're on leave, right? And I would argue that'd be a tough weekend trip. Go to San Diego and be back in time for Monday. So there's some wisdom and advice there, but this is a good move forward. Now, speaking to Colonel Simmons, okay, so it's effective Monday. Speaking to Colonel Simmons, this is one of those things where if we do have an increase in COVID cases, it's probably gonna go back to like 300 miles. It's probably gonna go back to California only because of all the state government rules. But this is a good step now that we're trying to release a little bit of the COVID restrictions on your lives on the weekend, right? I mean, very clear, I've been saying weekend like 4 times now. If you don't have something scheduled, right? Like if you are not on a mission or a stack load trainer or a local or something, and it's like Wednesday and you're like, man, I like Wednesday and Thursday, I'm not really doing a whole lot. I'm like not on leave, I'm not on a pass, I don't have a lot of work. I could go to like LA and hang out. Like that's probably not a good idea. I'll tell you that right now, all right? So you're still available for work, you're still checking in, right guys, with your flights. Because at a moment's notice, if I say, hey, everyone be here at 1 because we're gonna have an announcement or we're gonna have, BTC results just came out, I'm expecting you to be there, right? I'm not gonna give you 30 minutes notice, I'll give you a couple hours notice, but I want you guys to be probably in the local area during the week, right? To be showing up. So if you don't be that person that doesn't show up, and the flight commander walks in and be like, hey, airman or lieutenant blah, they're not here. And I'm like, where are they? Like, they're at Tahoe. And it's Wednesday at like 11. I'd be like, it's not gonna be good for them now. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that. Okay? Just don't be that person. If you want to go to Tahoe, that kind of stuff, burn some leave. You got lots of leave. I guarantee you. I see the leave roster. There's crap tons of using waves. So take leave. Okay, protects you, protects me, keeps us on the straight level. Okay, so that's the leave change for the weekend. You know what I mean, as far as leave rules and being able to go without having to take leave, it's 8 hours. Okay, so now you go to LA on the weekend and come back. As long as you're back on Monday, you don't have to take leave. Is that clear for everybody? Okay, all right. Next slide. All right, so we've got Chief Bass, right, who's to the right of the shadow here, just departed on a C-21. Going back to the Pentagon. She came out this morning, met with our all-female Women's History Month crew that flew with Bellum 7-5 yesterday, the C-17 and KC-10, and our very own C-5 that flew yesterday on a local. She wanted to acknowledge just the fact that this team came together. They flew an awesome local. We also have a mission leaving next week. It's going to be all-female. But had a local go out there, crush the upgrades, crush currency items, and just had a really, really good time and honored this month and honored each other for women in aviation, right? So I'm gonna go over the flight crew here real quick. So the instructor pilot was our very own Captain Alex Potts. And then we had Captain Nick Camp with the 312, this is TF5, Total Force crew. We had Brian Muir come over from the 312. We have our very own Keenan Duncan that was there, Lily Forlini, Waverly Hawk, Beverly Castro sit in the panel. Chelsea Gomi also sit in the panel doing some scanning with Alexis Clark. We had Kristen Lewis from the 312, right guys? We're familiar with her instructing with us. We had Miracle Verbius over from the 312. We had Sarah House, we had Taylor Smith, and we had Molly Connor. So just an awesome setup, an awesome crew that went out there and did some really, really good stuff. And got to meet our Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, shake her hand, take an awesome photo. There's a few others. It was just super cool. So hand on hand for them. All female mission is leaving. It's going west. When's it leaving? It's Tuesday, Monday? Tuesday. And we have Heather Denning, who's going to be the aircraft commander on that. Super, super cool. Looking forward to getting some cool photos from that one. Okay, next slide. The video. Okay, so this one, I'll just give a prelude to this. So this is our MSTT. You gotta realize we've got crazy amounts of traction on this MSTT. This is the Army trying to steal some of our thunder here. It's still good. So the MSTT is with a Calico out there in Colorado, a little out back to Altus as well. But in Colorado, the 4th Infantry Division, so 2-star command, almost like a number of the Air Force. It's got Strikers, M1s, infantry, mounted battalions there, and all the support VSBs that go along with it. So there's a striker there. It's a video that was done by the Colorado Gazette there in Sea Springs. So I think it's like 1.5 minutes. It's quick.
So this is unique. The last time we did this type of training on forecast was 2017, and we did it with the C-17, which is a little bit smaller than what we have. A little bit. Capability to actually load one of our biggest piece of equipment, the striker vehicle, and other vehicles on it as well. So this is a joint effort, and this is how we're gonna be able to deploy our forces out of forecast rapidly.
Cool. So that was awesome. We got the Calico down there, just to say how awesome the experience was and just how much we're learning. We talk about our pivot to the Far East, right? And this is going to be a projection platform if something does flare up. And what we're learning on the MSTT is not just making those loadmasters qualified, it's making us better, right? And it's also demonstrating, one of the MSTT initiatives is demonstrating to other mission partners what we can do, what makes us not just interesting but compelling in a fight for a C5. Right there's proof of the pudding, right? There's a perfect example. Other than that, we did transport the Esper's Geo 5 satellite. So it's satellite number 5 against Constellation 6, right? We got some pretty good press on that. So you go to Google Esper's satellite C5, you can see some pretty cool photos of that. That was Major Runman's crew that went out to Moffett and got that sucker loaded up and moved for it to be launched. When's the launch date? Do we know? It's in July. So stay tuned for that if you're a space fan, we'll say. You can check that out. But we're ahead of our hand in that, right? And remember, for a lot of our young folks, we're the only C5 of the 2 C models out there that have been in that can carry those satellites, right, to the Space Force now, and also our mission partners to get things moved up into space. Big change for that one is it's much smaller GPS constellation satellite, and we're making that transition now to smaller and smaller pieces of machinery that can get up there to do the same function or even more of the functionality as far as what the satellite goes in the GPS constellation. Okay, so 3 big pieces we've been part of. It's the W standard. Every time we look at the tail end, we're in. With that, is there anything else we want to add? I don't know what time it is. We passed the hour point. Oh yeah, we're well past it. But it was worthwhile. Good. Remember the Heritage Shuttle 222. Anything else to add?
For the Air Force Assistance Fund, I heard there was some confusion. So if you want to do it electronically, I put them up around the squadron. There's a scan code. You do the scan code. There's no extra paperwork that has to be done. Just because I've heard that there was, I have to do it electronically and then extra paperwork. There's no extra paperwork that you have to do. Just do it electronically if you choose. If you have any questions on it, feel free to let me know. I'm the POC for it. Also, came down from the group, there were over $3,000 that were donated to no squadron because they put in their squadron incorrectly. So when you're putting in the squadron, make sure you put 22 space AS. There's a space between the 22 and the AS. So
Key gouge. Good stuff. Super easy donations. Go straight to your LES and tax time. It gets cut right off your gross income. All right, so it's super easy to get advantage of those tax breaks with the Air Force Assistance Fund or the Combined Forces. Okay. Anything else? Awesome input around the room. Going away lunch at noon in the Heritage Room, right? Cool. G22 Heritage Huddle. Keep staying connected. I'll say the same thing at the Heritage Huddle. Call your mom, dad. be there for each other, care, and capital C. I'll see you guys in the next round.